to leave, already packed.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. Today we are here to set up our sinking funds for March. So if you've not already heard, which I'm sure most of you guys have, I have my very own budget planner. It's called the Humble Beginnings Budget Planner. This is the 2025 version. I will have a link down below. Because we are in March right now, it is currently marked down 40%. So if you want to try it out or start your budgeting journey, this is the time to do so. So today I'm going to set up my sinking funds for March, and I mentioned this in my budget video, but our sinking funds are dwindling. We are really cutting back on what we are contributing to sinking funds. The main reason for that is we have financial goals, and a lot of our goals are related to paying off our house. Funding sinking funds, especially certain ones that just kind of sit, take away the ability to pay off the house as quickly as we would like to. There are still some sinking funds that you will see that we are continuing to fund, but the reason why we started sinking funds, interestingly enough, was for our car insurance. And now that is no longer a sinking fund that we have. It's part of our fixed expenses. Our car insurance that we are currently, like the provider we're using, doesn't offer a discount for doing sinking fund or for doing 6 month worth of car insurance at one time. It's the same exact amount. So we're doing that on a monthly basis going forward. So anyway, we are cutting back on sinking funds. It's crazy. And I definitely think it's a this moment type of thing. It's not going to be a forever thing. I definitely think that when our house is paid off, we will be contributing more to sinking funds. I think even like with Mila being out of school and no longer having the tuition, that will free up a lot of money as well for sinking funds. But for the time being, we are gonna be just cash flowing things as things come up, and that is totally okay with us for the time being. So anyway, let's go ahead and write out all of our sinking funds and I'll talk about them as we go. So there are a few that are staying, but I'm still gonna put the whole list down just so you can kind of see what everything is and what we're contributing. Some we are currently negative, so we are adding I'm adding more in to just make them positive, if that makes sense. So first we have activities. This is one that will stay. This is what we used for all the kids' activities. So they both do tumbling right now. Macy's starting softball soon. I think they're both gonna do cheer. So activities stay. We have beauty. This is for like makeup, face wash for me. It also includes haircuts for the girls. Then we have car maintenance. We used to have car insurance, that's no longer here. Car tags. Then we have Christmas and gifts. That also includes like parties and things for the kids. We've had clothes sinking funds, so one for myself, one for Jason, and one for the girls. And I should mention, I'm gonna write everything out this time, but going forward, like until we decide to add more of these back in, it's going to stay being a smaller list. But again, just for the time being, we have our Costco membership. Then we have entertainment and vacation. This one is staying as well. We're using it obviously for our spring break. We have family pictures. Home maintenance. Subscriptions. Summer camp. Tolls, trash, and water. So those are all the normal sinking funds that we've had for a long time. Now we're gonna go in and talk about what the beginning is and what we are adding to each one. So for activities, we started off with 0. and we are adding in $227, and that is simply just to cover the cost of activities for the month. That is everything for the girls tumbling, and it also includes our membership for Planet Fitness. Jason and I typically, like as the girls are doing tumbling, we'll go on Monday nights and work out together. I also go to Planet Fitness on other days as well to work out, so that is everything there. Beauty, we're not adding anything in. Again, I think either our household or my personal allowance will cover anything beauty related. Car maintenance, we currently have 0 and we're not adding anything into that one either. We're just going to cash fund that as needed. Car tags is the same exact thing. We're just gonna cash flow that as time goes on. Christmas and gifts. That's a good question. I think I have, though we're adding money in for that, but I'm not sure what that will look like. We'll just put it in for now. So right now the beginning balance is 0. Is that right? Why am I questioning that? Yeah, that is right. Okay. For some reason, I'm like, did we really end with that? We're gonna put in $500 for Christmas and gifts. This includes, like I said, Christmas. It includes gifts like for any holiday, birthdays. It includes birthday parties for the kids. So there's a lot, and I would love to be able to keep this one because we do end up spending it. But in March, if we need more funding for like our vacation or whatever, we'll cut that back and we'll contribute whatever we need to just for that month, because we do have a birthday party coming up in a couple weeks, so we will need some money for like this category, but we may not need the whole 500. We'll kind of see. That's where I'm saying, like, I really want to just try and cash flow things instead of just having money sitting, because yes, it's great to save for Christmas. I know Christmas is coming, but there are a few other things like extra paychecks that come through in certain months that we can set aside extra money in that regard if we need to, if that makes sense. So I'm just trying to be a little bit more strategic about how we do things and how we fund certain things, instead of just being like, okay, every month we're putting a set number away. Like, I'd rather that extra $500 go towards our mortgage than just have it sit for months and months and months. Again, I'm doing what works best for me. You should do the same thing for you. But I just figured I would kind of give that explanation. Clothes for all of us, we are giving 0. I don't think the girls will need clothes, and obviously Jason and I are no longer getting sinking fund amounts for clothes. For Costco, we currently have $65 in there, and we're gonna add in $5, but I think our membership is due in March, and so at that point, like, I'll just see what the amount is going to be, and then that might be another thing that we just cash flow, because like $65 is not that much. We could definitely cash flow that. For entertainment and vacation, we were negative $415.22 when we started out the month. That's because we had a whole ski trip. We ended up staying overnight. It was kind of an expensive situation. The plan is to add in $1,500 for the month, and that will include like getting caught up on our sinking funds, but then also include like the rental car and gas, tolls, like any activities that we do while skiing. I'm hoping the $1,500 will be enough. For family pictures, we currently have 0. We're adding in nothing. Home maintenance, same thing. We have 0 there. What I did, if you're wondering, between February and March is I cleared out a lot of our sinking funds, and that went to like other expenses or whatever, because I knew I was gonna be cutting back on sinking funds. For home maintenance, our home is very much updated. A lot of the things that you would normally need to save for are not concerns for us at the moment. Eventually they definitely will be. But again, we have an emergency fund, we have extra savings. I think that we will be able to cover anything that we will need to, and then any like routine stuff like, you know, grass seed and stuff like that, like we could just cover on a monthly basis. For subscriptions, we were negative $23. So we are just adding in the $23. And I think that's going to be that. Again, going forward, what we'll do is we will just cash flow these things as they come up. For summer camp, we have 0. We're adding in nothing. For tolls, we have nothing. We're adding in nothing. That's one of those things where, like, if we have tolls come through, then I will add $20. So just keep that in mind. And then for trash and for water, we both have 0. And we're gonna add in $20 for trash and $50 for water, because those are 2 of our utilities that will definitely come out, and we will need the money for those as that comes through. So you can see some big, huge, major changes to our sinking funds. We started the month intentionally with a negative number. We started with negative $373.22. And the plan is to add in $2,325. Again, mostly the reason why it is so much is because we are funding our vacation. Again, kind of going back to the whole plan with cash flowing things, this month our goal is to cash flow our vacation. Does that mean that we maybe will be putting less money towards other sinking funds? Yes. Does it mean that we may be putting less money towards our extra mortgage payment? Yes. But that's just kind of the way that it is right now with like our income, the way it's coming in, and also with like our goals to pay off the house. I feel like this is the best way to do that. So I really encourage you, if you are in a similar situation, if you have a variable income, or you are just in a situation where you have these aggressive goals, financial goals, and you want to achieve them, and some of the things that you're currently doing are not working for you anymore, it is okay to make adjustments. It is okay to change your strategy. I've always been really, like, I think even probably 2 years ago, I was so into sinking funds, and every single month, regardless of what was happening, regardless of what amounts and balances we had, we still put in the same amount every single month. That was okay because our goals were very different then. Now I'm like, I want to try and trim our budget as much as possible so that as much as possible is going towards our goal, which is to pay off our house. Once our house is paid off, the possibilities are going to be endless. That will completely eliminate a huge expense, because even now, like, our property taxes and homeowners insurance is tiny compared to what our principal and interest is and what all of the extra payments that we are making. We don't have any other debts. Our cars are paid off for. We have no student loans. And so this is kind of like the home stretch for us. We have a lot of things that we want to do once the house is paid off. We have some, like, you know, pretty small things that we would like to do. We'd also really like to cash flow getting a van, and that would eliminate us having to pay to rent a car every time we went to Colorado. So there's things that we have in mind. We also really want to bump up retirement and bump up the kids' 529 stuff, do more traveling, because our kids are at the age where, like, it's starting to get a lot easier. So we have a lot of goals, and I think for me, trimming back our sinking fund funding as of right now is going to help us get closer to that point. But yeah, we'll kind of see how it goes. I will keep you guys updated as the month goes on. I do weekly check-ins, so if you are wondering how things are going and how spending is going, definitely check those out. Let me know how sinking funds are going.
About to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking